6 Lessons on Raj Yoga by Swami Vivekananda. Second lesson. This yoga is known as the Eightfold Yoga because it is divided into 8 principal parts. These are: first, Yama. This is most important, has to govern the whole life. It has 5 divisions. A. Not injuring any being by thought, word, or deed. B. Non-covetousness in thought, word, or deed. C. Perfect chastity in thought, word, or deed. D. Perfect truthfulness in thought, word, or deed. E. Non-deceiving of gifts. Second, Niyama. The bodily care, bathing daily, dietary, etc. Third, Asana, posture. Hips, shoulders, and head must be held straight, leaving the spine free. Fourth, Pranayama. Restraining the breath in order to get control of the prana or vital force. Fifth, Pratyahara. Turning the mind inward and restraining it from going outward, revolving the matter in the mind in order to understand it. Sixth, Dharana. Concentration on one subject. Seventh, Dhyana. Meditation. Eighth, Samadhi. Illumination. The aim of all our efforts. Yama and Niyama are for lifelong practice. As for the others, we do as the leech does, not leave one blade of grass before firmly grasping another. In other words, we have thoroughly to understand and practice one step before taking another. The subject of this lesson is Pranayama, or controlling the prana. In Raja Yoga, breathing enters the psychic plane and brings us to the spiritual. It is the flywheel of the whole bodily system. It acts first upon the lungs act on the heart acts upon the circulation, this in turn upon the brain, and the brain upon the mind. The will can produce an outside sensation, and the outside sensation can arouse the will. Our wills are weak, we do not realize their power, we are so much bound up in matter. Most of our action is from outside in. Outside nature throws us off our balance, and we cannot throw nature off her balance. This is all wrong. The stronger power is really within. The great saints and teachers were those who had conquered this world of thought within themselves and so spake with power. The story of the minister confined in a high tower who was released through the efforts of his wife, who brought him a beetle, honey, a silken thread, a cord, and a rope, illustrates the way we gain control of our mind by using first the physical regulation of the breath as the silken thread that enables us to lay hold on one power after another until the rope of concentration delivers us from the prison of the body and we are free. Reaching freedom, we can discard the means used to bring us there. Pranayama has 3 parts: Puraka, inhaling; Kumbhaka, restraining; Rechaka, exhaling. There are 2 currents passing through the brain and circulating down the sides of the spine, crossing at the base and returning to the brain. One of these currents, called the sun, Pingala, starts from the left hemisphere of the brain, crosses at the base of the brain to the right side of the spine, and recrosses at the base of the spine, like one half of the figure 8. The other current, the moon, Ida, reverses its action and completes this figure 8. Of course, the lower part is much longer than the upper. These currents flow day and night and make deposits of the great life forces at different points, commonly known as plexuses, but we are rarely conscious of them. By concentration, we can learn to feel them and trace them over all parts of the body. These sun and moon currents are intimately connected with breathing and by regulating this, we get control of the body. In the Kathopanishad, the body is described as the chariot, the mind is the reins, the intellect is the charioteer, the senses are the horses, and the objects of the senses their road. The self is the rider seated in the chariot. Unless the rider has understanding and can make the charioteer control his horses, he can never attain the goal. But the senses, like vicious steeds, will drag him where they please and may even destroy him. These two currents are the great check rein in the hands of the charioteer, and he must get control of this to control the horses. We have to get the power to become moral. Until we do that, we cannot control our actions. Yoga alone enables us to carry into practice the teachings of morality. To become moral is the object of yoga. All great teachers were yogis and controlled every current. The yogis arrest these currents at the base of the spine and force them through the center of the spinal column. They then become the current of knowledge, which only exists in the yogi. Second lesson in breathing. One method is not for all. This breathing must be done with rhythmic regularity, and the easiest way is by counting. As that is purely mechanical, we repeat the sacred word Om a certain number of times instead. The process of Pranayama is as follows. Close the right nostril with the thumb and then slowly inhale through the left nostril, repeating the word Om 4 times. Then firmly close both nostrils by placing the forefinger on the left one and hold the breath in, mentally repeating Om 8 times. Then removing the thumb from the right nostril, exhale slowly through that, repeating Om 4 times. As you close the exhalation, draw in the abdomen forcibly to expel all the air from the lungs. Then slowly inhale through the right nostril, keeping the left one closed, repeating Om 4 times. Next, close the right nostril with the thumb and hold the breath while repeating Om 8 times. Then unclose the left nostril and slowly exhale, repeating Om 4 times, drawing in the abdomen as before. Repeat this whole operation twice at each sitting, that is, making 4 pranayamas, 2 for each nostril. Before taking your seat, it is well to begin with prayer. This needs to be practiced a week. Then gradually increase the duration of breathing, keeping the same ratio, that is, if you repeat Om 6 times at inhalation, then do the same at exhalation and 12 times during Kumbhaka. These exercises will make us more spiritual, more pure, more holy. Do not be led aside into any byways or seek after power. Love is the only power that stays by us and increases. He who seeks to come to God through Raja Yoga must be strong mentally, physically, morally, and spiritually. Take every step in that light. Of hundreds of thousands, only one soul will say, I will go beyond and I will penetrate to God. Few can face the truth, but to accomplish anything, we must be willing to die for truth.